Let me tell you about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game.
In December of 1987, a certain cartoon adaptation of a comic book debuted and would launch an insanely popular franchise that acted as a bridge between the 80s toy juggernauts like Transformers, He-Man, Thundercats, and hell, even Ghostbusters,
Let's split!
toward the aesthetics that would lead into a renaissance of radical martial arts copycats in the upcoming decade. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles! Who knew that kids could relate to 4 giant pizza-loving turtles who've been trained by a giant rat in the sewers of New York in martial arts? While its success led to the toy franchising and one would expect from the 80s, with the revitalization of video games in the late 80s, thanks to the success of the NES, there was also huge potential for the Turtles to thrive in a digital space. Enter Konami, back when they were a company that mattered, with the acquisition of the rights to develop the games using the license. Following the acquisition, they made both a shitty NES game and the subject of today's video that would then get an interesting home port the following year. I'm talking about a benchmark in the genre, the foundation that would birth a saga. I'm talking about the classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, also known as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game and the NES port, also known as TMNT Super Kame Ninja in Japan.
I don't think there's a beat-em-up I've played more times in my life than the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game, because when I was younger, not only did the Boys and Girls Club that I went to have one, and whenever they gave us free time to play whatever we wanted, if I wasn't playing Rampage or the pinball games, I was playing that Turtles game. And in fact, I found myself at that more times than not, because my friends at the Boys and Girls Club and I would play it together, and around the same time, I also got a NES. We found one at a flea market, and I got a copy of the Turtles arcade game, or the port of the Turtles arcade game on the NES. And at the time, I didn't know that there were exclusive levels to that version or different bosses, but I loved that about it, and I think that it's a really cool fact about the game. And the great thing about this game as an arcade game is that it is very tight. It's in and out. It's a nice little 30-35 minute adventure that you can just have with your friends that has a nice variety of levels, bosses. Even though they reuse a boss, you still get a handful of bosses that are scattered throughout parts of the Turtles lore. You get fun little cutscenes inserted in there, and while the combat is very simple, it lends itself to being a good gateway into the beat-em-up genre. The combo game isn't as intense as it is in current games or other games at the time. It doesn't have some of the frills that other Turtles games would throw in there as well. It's just a bare-bones-ass adventure, but I really adore that about it. I think that it's a good foundation game. You know, in the intro I talked about it sort of setting a precedent. It set a standard for what Turtles games should be. It's got the one vehicle segment. It's got a lot of levels that feel very tropish to the beat-em-up genre. Like, you've got the street level, you've got the factory level, you've got the bridge level, which is admittedly probably the weakest insertion of the Turtles, because unlike a game like Streets of Rage 2, the Turtles kind of feel weird in a place where enemies on motorcycles are typically thrown at you, or enemies in cars, because the Foot Clan ninjas just look goofy driving motorcycles and riding in cars en masse like it's the opening of Full House. But even in spite of that, it's just a delightful little game. Sure, some of the bosses can be kind of annoying. I'm looking at you, Granitor. I hate this so much. Oh my god, what the actual shit? What the fuck? What the actual fuck? You can go fuck yourself, but by and large, the game feels fair, it feels really well put together, and there's a lot of charm in it. The voice acting is really fun, there's a lot of fun trappings as the game progresses. I even love how during the Technodrome, you have this mini boss gambit at the end, where you're fighting General Trog, then Krang, then Shredder. The Shredder fight is intense as hell, because you gotta fight clones, break the clones so that you have time to fight the main guy and avoid the main guy's turtle magic, where he turns you back into the original turtle form. It's a good intense final climax that again is so fun to see through to its end. You know, and it plants even more seeds in the epilogue for sequel bait. It's just a delightful little romp through Turtles Town. And overall, nothing feels out of place. The soundtrack is also super quality. And what I love about the home port is it is kind of a meatier adventure, which makes sense given that you're not stuck into the confines of pouring quarters into it. You know, you got the inclusion of a different third level where it's all snowy because a weather machine is going off, and you fight Tora. You've also got the ninja level, the ninja scroll level, which feels kind of cool given you are fighting the Foot Clan throughout the game, so it's cool to have this level dedicated to the ninjas with the Shogun boss at the end. I also love that in the parking garage level, you get to fight Baxter Stockman as his mutated fly self. While it's cool to fight Bebop and Rocksteady in the arcade version, and it acts as a good sort of co-op moment with a friend because by yourself, you're pretty much screwed, I like that in the home console port, again, because you may not always have another buddy with you, it's limited to 2 players, you get to fight Baxter Stockman instead, again, but instead in the mutant form. And I like that sort of planting and payoff moment because he's still in the sewer level in both games, but it's cool that he has sort of a different appearance and a different form. I also love how well they translated the arcade game to the home port in general. I like that all the cutscenes are still there. I like that a lot of the panache in the background is still going on. I love all the Pizza Hut advertising as well. That's fucking hilarious. This game gave you a free pizza with the game itself. That's awesome. And it's in general just evokes the Turtles very, very well by and large. You know, it feels like a good action-packed episode, and the home version feels like almost an extension to a movie. It feels like their own proverbial versus the Sinister Six style movie. And I like that about it. You know, it's got a little bit of everything, and it's something that, again, gave you a lot, but also gave the team room to breathe. And obviously, at the time, this game is very well beloved. I feel like a lot of people do love this game and cherish it for what it is. I don't think anybody hates this game. But I could see people saying that it is a game that has been improved upon. You know, Turtles in Time came out afterwards. I know that that's a lot of people's favorite Turtles beat 'em up. The new game in general is a fantastic expansion on what this game laid the groundwork of. You know, it does have some boss sequences replicated from the original game, but with the new mechanics built in mind. But I think that none of that would have mattered if this foundation wasn't as good as it is. I could see people liking those games more, or any other of the beat-em-up Turtles games more, but I personally think that this is still a benchmark title that shouldn't be forgotten. You know, for all of its simplicities, there is a magic in it that I think still holds up and is very charming amidst any expansions that have happened afterwards. But that's it. That's my thoughts on it. I love this game. I think it's really, really good. Do you like this game? Do you like the Turtles in general? Have you played the new game? Do you like it? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, be sure to give it a like. If you want to see more of my music, gaming, and general nerdery content, be sure to subscribe. Special thanks to my patrons if you want to join the ranks to get early access to content, exclusive content, or to help drive the community. It's linked in the description. I'm going to go, though. Thank you again so very much for watching. I've been Viral Rack. You guys have good days, lives, and situations, and I'll see you another day. I was really happy when this game was like a thing. Like when they put this on the 360, you know, when they revitalized the Turtles for a little bit. Anytime the Turtles get some revitalization, I'm always happy. Because I love the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like, a lot. I think it's a really fun franchise, you know?